What's up, my people? How are you? I hope that you're doing fine. This is Charities Baba USA, your number one channel. My name is Charity Nganga. Today I'm going to do a video about homes, and I'm going to answer one question that's very burning that I have to talk about, guys. We are supposed to have a live show, but I am not going to have a live show today because I have to attend to something. So by the time this video is going on air, I will not be at home. So guys, bear with me, but we are going to talk. We're still going to have these conversations. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, guys, please consider subscribe and always like my video, guys. Always like it. It doesn't cost you anything to press that button and like a video, guys. The hand that gives receives, guys. I need you to like my videos, like it, when you watch, just like it. Leave a comment, a short comment, that really goes a long way, guys. So I'm looking forward to see many likes on this one. So thank you for being here. And today I want to talk about a little bit about a question. And I've been having a conversation with this person, and I was like, let me talk about it because someone else might be going through this. So this person was sent a letter, an email that they had won the DV lottery by someone who had allegedly filled out for them. And now they have this letter. They send it to me, and they tell them that for them to access all the information on how to go on and process the DS-260, they have to pay this individual. How sad can that be, guys? Someone wants to make money out of someone, and they have not, they have done nothing, because it costs like 10 minutes to fill out an application for the green card. Like 10 minutes. You go online when it's on in October and early November, you fill it out. It takes less than 10 minutes, guys. Like a very, very, very short time. And then someone says that they filled it out for you and you have been selected. What if that paper is fraudulent? I wasn't able to give a clear answer to that person because, you have those thoughts that you want to come to the US. And that's what happens. When you're so eager to come, then someone decides that they're going to send you something and tell you that you have won. For me, I think that is fraud. I think I cannot even follow that person because, like I said, and when I started my channel, I would tell you guys, I told you guys that uh, please do the filling for yourself, do the application for yourself, and keep your confirmation number. So I asked that person, do you have a confirmation number? Do you even have an email that maybe we can try and check to find your confirmation number? She said, no. So if you do not have access to all that information, for me, I would not pursue something like that. I would not, because people are so fraudulent. I think the world has changed so much that people are willing to do anything, to go to all lengths to get money out of people, money that is not honest. So for me, I wouldn't go through that route. I would just forget about it and do another application in DV 2024 that's coming on in October, and then pray hard and have faith that I am going to win, because you never know. You do not know if that person has fabricated those papers and just sent you something, and they always tell you, even when you go to the website travel.state.gov, they tell you that nobody should send you an email. When you're checking for your results, go to the EDV. So if you did not fill it for yourself, you didn't fill it for yourself, and the source that is telling you that you have won, it's not a very reliable source, then you should just forget. Because for me individually, I shouldn't pay someone some money, even if it's $1 or whatever, depending on where you live, in which country that you live. The littlest money, the little sum of money, I would not pay for someone because I have been selected, because that's a free process. You only start paying when you only start using money when you start processing, when they ask you for your interview. Of course, when you want to get your passport, you're going to pay for that. Of course, when you go for your visa interview, you're going to pay for that. So if you start the process by paying someone and you're not sure if those documents are authentic, I don't think that that's fair. And I think I think it's good, even for those people who are doing that, to sit down and think twice. And like, why are you taking money that is not genuine? It doesn't help. So if someone has sent you an email or whatever that you have won, I don't think that you should follow that route, because you will end up being frauded. You will end up losing money. You will end up regretting. I know the stakes are so high for people to want to come to the US. They're very high, but still, do not let someone con you of your hard-earned money, because of something that you can do for yourself. So enough of that. Now let me talk about housing, because people are talking about how to get an apartment, how to get a home or whatever. Now the first thing that I want to tell you is that when you come to the US, you're not going to be able to come to buy a house as soon as you are you're very new from whatever, unless you have a lot of money and you want to buy cash. If you want to buy cash, you have cash, good. You can be able to buy a house because you know cash, it's your money. Nobody's going to ask you. But you find that the first thing that you do, you have to have a host. That's a must, because you need someone to hold your hand. This is a different culture that you're coming into. And this different culture, you need to be shown some things. You need to be shown some things. Otherwise, you won't even know where to go to the store. Because most of us, especially when we come from Africa, we are used to going to the store in the market. I know there are supermarkets, but there are some people who still do not go there. So a percentage, maybe in the urban areas, if you live in Nairobi, whatever, you might be able to access to go to the supermarket all the time. But some people are not used to that, especially if you live in the village or whatever. I'm not saying that there are no supermarkets in the village. There are, but the norm is not like going to buy your vegetables in the supermarket. You know what I mean? To go and buy milk in the supermarket. So you need to know all that. You even need to know how to drive. We drive on a different side, so you need to know all that. You need someone to show you where to go, point A and point B, where to go. So that's the first thing. So after that, maybe you have gotten a job, and like I've been saying, you start low. You start with the lowest job that you can find, because maybe you are not you haven't done something, you haven't specialized in something. And even if you are a nurse or if you are a doctor, you find that you still have to go through a process. You still have to do something for you to get licensed to practice. If you're a plumber, the same thing. You have to be licensed to practice. It's very, very, those are things that you have to do. So before you are on your feet, you have to rent an apartment. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. So what is an apartment? It's good to know what's an apartment. And let me see my screen here. I want to fix it so that I'm able to share. So what's an apartment? An apartment is here, share. So I hope you guys can see. I'm going to click on one here so that we can look at it. So let's look at an example of an apartment here. Now this one, I'm going to look at this one. I don't know if I'm able to make it a little bit bigger for you guys to see. So let's look at this one. Now this is an apartment complex. Now you find that this is many people live here, but when you live over here, you find that here you have a little bit of balcony. That's on the floor, a balcony, so everybody has their own balcony. So they try to make it as individualized as you can. That's a good apartment that you can rent. This is another one. Especially here in Wichita, we have some that look like these ones. And then, so those are apartments. Apartments are basically, they are those homes that many people are living there. And you find that here in Wichita, because that person asked specifically here in Wichita, how much you pay for apartments, it can go from like $500 to like $1,000, depending on where you're living. It depends on where you're living. But the cheapest you can get an apartment, a 2-bedroom apartment, for like $500 to $600. But it is not only in this state, guys. The states matter. So if you go to New York, the apartment that you would rent here for $500, it might go up to maybe $2,000. So it depends on where you are. So that is an apartment where, many people live. And it's always good when you're going to look for an apartment to just look at the neighborhood, and your host is gonna like kind of guide you on the best neighborhoods, because you have very nice neighborhoods and we have other neighborhoods that are not very good, because you have to look at safety. It's very, very important for you to look at safety. So that is an apartment. You might decide you don't want to live in an apartment. You want to live in something called a duplex. You want to live in something called a duplex. So a duplex looks like, let me share here. What's a duplex? A duplex looks like here, share. Now a duplex is like this. Now look at this house. When you look at this house, this is a door, and this is one big house, but this house is 2 people live here. So you'll find that there will be a door over there and there will be another door over there. This is a duplex. So you will decide whether you want to do a duplex, maybe and because it's a house, it's in a setting of house, maybe it can go from like 700 to $1,000, but it depends on where. Or maybe there are some that are very expensive that they cost 1,200. So that's a duplex. You can decide that's where I want to live, and then another thing that matters is the rooms. How many bedrooms does it have? This is also another duplex. Oh, this one is so beautiful, guys. So you see, it's in the same area. They are sharing the same whatever, the same front yard here, but you see there is a division here. So this is one person lives here and the other person lives here. This is a duplex. So maybe you can find like this one going to like 1,200. This is so beautiful. Oh my gosh. But it depends on the rooms, and also it depends on the state that you are in. This is another duplex. Now this one is a little bit better because this one, you see, they have a different parking places, and you see this tree car is kind of dividing the yard there, and then you find that there's a door and a door, you see. So you find that that's another duplex. So you can decide, am I going to live in a duplex or am I going to live in an apartment? Now then you can decide whether you want to live in a home. In a home. So let's see how a home looks like. I want to remove that one and share another screen here with you guys. So let's look at a home, how a home looks like. Did I Google a home? Duplex, Google account, homes. Yes, homes. So these are homes. These homes are by themselves, like that one. See, it's by itself. You have your own backyard. You have everything by yourself. That's a home. This is another home. This is also another home. It depends on your pocket. You see, this is another home. It has how many garages? 2 garages. Look at that, whatever, the front yard. Oh, this is good, guys. This is like just very good. And look at this one. This is still a home. So I'm just, I just went online so that you guys can understand. This is another home. There are so many. So when you are going to look for where to live, because at the end of the day, you're not going to live with your host forever. You have to look for a place to live. That's what you should have in mind. But I'm talking about Wichita. This is where we live. So I'm talking about here. You find that this here in Wichita, the houses, the price of the houses can be different from the houses in Kansas City. It depends on where you are going. So what you should think about when you're looking for an apartment, the first thing you should think about is safety, because you must be able to go to a place that is safe. You must be able, now like here where I live in my neighborhood, you find that even if my kids leave their bikes outside the yard, or if I forget something outside the yard, I will still find it in the morning. Now, there are and you learn here, when you learn that when you come here, there are other neighborhoods that you can go. You find that the houses are very cheap, but if you leave something outside there, you won't find it the next day. So all that happens, and you have to put all that into context, guys. So when you think about that, then you will be able to rent an apartment. Is it a duplex? Is it a home? Now you will decide on what you want to do. So that's what you think about. Now when you go to look for an apartment, excuse me, you find that they will do a background check on you. They will do a background check on you, and sometimes, because you do not have, when we rented our first apartment, our host, we had like to co-rent, both of us. His name was there and our name was there, because we didn't have credit, because we moved out very fast. We I think we stayed with him for less than, I think, like less than 2 months, I think. And you find that we didn't have any credit, so his name had to be there. But if you stay longer with your host, depending on the terms, because you have to have terms with your host, you can't just go to someone's house and live without terms. You have to sit down and have those conversations, and the host will be like, these are my expectations, this is what I expect. And coming from an African culture, and that is something that when you come here that you really have to change, is that you find that there are some people who do not like to be told that rules, whatever. There are those who do not like it. But when you come here, you have to listen. This is what my host wants. So have those conversations, because you don't want to leave your host's house and you're not talking to each other. So after that, because your host might help you with that, then you have to have a job. You have to show that you have a job that you will be able to pay your apartment with. And of course, when doing a background check, they're checking, are you, what kind of person are you? Huh? What kind of person are you, and all that stuff, before they give you a house. So it can be a house, it can be an apartment, it can be a duplex. And you find that when you go to rent, even if they are vacant, they won't give you immediately. They will tell you to fill out some paperwork, and then you fill out some paperwork, you will leave your social, you will leave your copy of your ID, and then they will do a background check, and then they will tell you, we will call you maybe within like 3 business days to tell you about your background check, or to tell you if you have been approved for an apartment, because you have to be approved. It's not like you're just walking into someone's, like, for example, in Kenya, if you want to go and rent a house, you'll just walk into a place where you know that there's a vacant, and then you look for the caretaker, and then that's it. Now here it's different. You will go to a little office. Sometimes they have a little office, or depending on the setting that they have, after you have done your paperwork, they will tell you that they will call you later. And then after they have approved you is when you will go and do paperwork. Now that paperwork is going to have everything about the house. They're going to have rules whereby you cannot damage the house, because if you damage the house, you are going to pay for it. You cannot, they have their own, everyone has their own set of rules. And it's important for them to tell you, so that you take care of that apartment as if it was yours, so that if you want to move out later, you will leave it the way it was. And then you find that an apartment is better when you're starting life, because you find that, for example, here I did a video when we were mowing our yard, like cutting the grass, mowing the lawn. You find that some apartments, most apartments, you don't have to mow the lawn, so it's upon the landlord to make sure that the loan is mowed, but you have to pay your rent, you have to pay your own electricity. There are some who are really good that they will pay water bill for you, but there are some that who do not. So it depends. I remember the first apartment that we went to, we were not paying for water, and we were not paying for trash. But there are still others that you will go, especially if you're going to a duplex or you're going to a home, you find that you will have to mow your lawn, you will have to pay for your trash, you'll have to pay for your water. So I remember our first apartment, it was an advantage because we only paid electricity as an extra. Because the trash, I remember they had a big thing, and all of us would go and dump the trash there, and we didn't even know like who was paying for the trash, and the water bill we were not paying. So it all depends on that when you're going to to rent an apartment, because in the first place you will rent. But after you have rented and you have settled and you have lived, it's good to think about getting your own home. It's very, very important for you to get your own home, because like us, I remember when we came in, we were only a family of 4, but then our family grew, especially when I got my third born. We used to live in a 2-bedroom apartment. Like we need a room for the girls. And Eric was growing up, so we needed a room. So we went to look for a bigger apartment, I remember, and we went to look for a three-bedroom because we wanted a 3-bedroom. But then we looked at the rates we were getting at $800 to $1,000, and then we decided to look into buying a home. Now, when we did all our math, we found that yes, we have to, yeah, of course we had good credit and all that. But when we looked at our math, we were like, if we buy our own home, we will still be paying the same money that we are paying for rent. So we decided, instead of renting, then we are going to buy our own home. And that is how you do it. Because you find that if you have good credit, and you have a job, and you have been doing well in your job, you're not working here today and then you go and look for another job. They like to see something steady, like you have been working for a place maybe 1 or 2 years. They are seeing that consistency. Of course you will get to buy your own home, and when you buy your own home, you find that you will be paying to own. You will not be paying and then you're not getting anything out of it. For me, like, I think I just like something that is going to benefit me at the long run. You see what I mean? So if we were like, if we rent, we'll be paying this $1,000 for a 3-bedroom house. Yes, it's nice, whatever, and we won't have to pay all that stuff. But at the end of the day, we are not going to own it. So come with the mind that you're going to have your own home and then you'll be paying mortgage. Hmm? Because when you pay mortgage, it's easy. And you find that when you're a homeowner, even when you go to pay your taxes, you still start at an advantage as compared to someone who is renting. So you look at all those dynamics, and then that is how you go about it, guys. So I hope that this video is going to help someone. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. And I'm going to see you in another video. Thank you. I know that you're going to miss me for this afternoon, but I am going to be live next week. Thank you, and God bless you.